Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk The Walking Dead Q&A number 98. Holy crap, 98. Listen, 100 is coming up very soon, just in a couple days. Give me some opinions or suggestions of something special you guys wanted to do. I was just going to do like an extra long 100, but then I seen some other people asking me, hey, are you doing something special? Yada, yada, yada. Now, keep in mind, I can't add a lot of editing if we're going to be doing a lot of videos every day for the next few weeks, so keep that in mind. But give me any thoughts or any suggestions. Another thing too, go to Target. I just picked this The Walking Dead Season 6 t-shirt up. They got this, they got walkers, they got these signs here. The one, remember, this used to be in the background. It's thick wood, it's nice too. The picture quality's great. They got that one, and they got Daryl Dixon, and a bunch of t-shirts, and they're only $3. The t-shirts are. Those posters are like $7, but they're originally like 15 or something like that. But you can find a whole section over by the DVD electronics area. The whole Walking Dead section is on sale, half off or more. So go load up on some merch. And there's some cool stuff there. There's stuff that's only like 50 cents, like decals, I don't know, wallets it looked like that were only $1. I don't know. Check it out. And another thing, if you're new here, you can find rules to participate in that video description. Let's move right into the questions. Photon Wingal, hope I said that right. Not sure if you remember, but if you noticed, you predicted the Blu-ray uncensored Negan way back in 2014, and then he left a link. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. A lot more people have been hitting me up recently. They've been going back and looking at all the old Q&As that we did for The Walking Dead, and so many people have been showing me these little clips that I think it's wild. Some of them are just dead on, and I love it. It feels good. Just because you're that connected with the storyline that you get some things perfect, and it's cool. And some of the things that are also cool is how off I was, like with the hospital. I thought we were going to get something totally different. So it's fun going back, even for me, you know, going back and watching those old ones. So if you guys are interested, don't forget, check back some of the old ones. You might, I don't know, they might interest you. Anyway, thank you very much. Moving right along, Carlo115. Hey Ronnie, I have a question. Is there any big twist you would like to see in Season 7 that is not in the comic? And if so, what and why? You know what? I don't have any big twists, but there has been something I have always wanted to see. And they did it a little bit. They did it kind of in Season 6 where there was other communities that Negan was dealing with that aren't communities from the comic book, but I wanted them to deal with a community a little bit after they ran into Rick Grimes. So look they do the whole introduction, they add more to it, whatever they're gonna do. Rick and gang go home, and it's a week or two later, they're getting supplies and they have to meet up with Negan. Something happens and Negan wants to meet him over in this other area, you know, for the supply drop off. Instead of coming to Alexandria, they got to go over there. So Rick goes over there with maybe a few of his people, and here Negan has a different group lined up. So when Rick shows up, he's there with Negan. To this group, Rick seems like he's on Negan's side, like he's one of Negan's people, like he is a savior. And I love that idea so much. Just the visual of going back watching Season 6 with Rick and gang surrounded by the saviors, the villains. But then from a different perspective, if you're in that group, Rick looks like a villain, but he's completely not. And then maybe even add to that and have Negan play around with him, torment him a little bit, tell Rick to pick who's gonna get it, you know? Instead of doing any mini money mo, be like, you know what, I can't decide. Rick, come here, you help me out. Something like that. Something demented. I've always wanted to see that ever since I started thinking about different things I wanted to see that were added to the comic book story. Once that was in the comic, because it's been in the comic for a few years now, so we've had time to think about a little bit of things. Anyway, I like that question actually. Spin 2020. Ronnie, where do you see them taking Carol this season? Will she continue on the kill or not kill road? I'm hoping they don't abandon that, because it'll look like it's amateur writing just to get her to leave and link up with the Kingdom storyline, which will show that they plan this out well ahead of time, leaving it off as a cliffhanger. I do want to see Carol continue that, but be healed by what's going on in the kingdom, like the way of life they have there. And I want to see her harness that. Instead of seeing a Carol who is shoot first, ask questions later, I want to see her, put her shit together and kill when it's necessary, but also show that you can be compassionate in this world now. You can come together. You can show love for other people in this world. You know what I mean? You can be nice to people, bring them into your inner circle, and there's still hope for life. I want to see something like that, but don't lose that edge where make her weak and not wanting to kill. Like, she'll give you the chance. Put down the gun, I'm not going to kill you, da-da-da-da. But if you don't give her any outs, yeah, you're done. She'll kill you. That's what I want to see Carol become this season. But I don't want them to dive so deep that it becomes filler, Leslie Ann. Ronnie, I didn't want this video to end so entertaining. Thanks. Will you be pissed if the predicted deaths are wrong and someone of a less shock value dies, such as Eugene? Also, will it be too emotional for the group to take the Lucille victim body home to Alexandria? I don't think that's an option, not taking the body home. It will be emotional, but usually you want to cling to the body. Like someone I love, I would never just leave him in a ditch. I'd want to bring him home, have a burial, and yada, yada, yada. So I don't think it's too emotional, but I think Eugene is a horrible pick for the death in the story-wise, because I don't think it's as impactful. I think they set it up to be obviously Eugene, I think that's such an obvious kill that it's way too predictable, and that's why I don't even look at Eugene, because they have that ending where he's hugging Abraham, he gives the ammo list away. I think Eugene's too cheap, so that's rough. I would be pissed if it was Eugene, yes. I would also be pissed if the rumors are true too, but that's a different story. Paul Sung, which character death was the most surprising to you? Keep up the videos, man, thanks. I would have to say Andrea was, and I wasn't even connecting the show to the comic back then. I was literally just show viewer, I think I started reading the comic, but it didn't connect like it is now. Like, I know the comic, the storyline, the characters, I'm in touch with them, and I love them, and I know their story and some of the backgrounds, but with the comic I was new then, and I wasn't focused on her lasting, and thriving like comic Andrea, but it just felt so out of place story-wise. I just was baffled, Justin Farah. Yo, Ronnie, what up? How close to the comic do you think Negan's storyline will be in the show? I think they've already shown us that it's going to be really close. Now, the side streets will be different. Yes, like we might have different interactions with Negan. Like, it might not be Carl, it might be Daryl, it might not be this, it might be this. They might flesh out more communities, but they have already shown us it's going to be pretty similar. The main plot points, Vivian Las Cosas, I screwed that up. How many fangirls do you think would cry if Daryl falls in love with a gay ninja? What would be Rick's reaction? I don't know. I think this is a silly question. It sounds like you just asked a joke question. Usually I skip over the joke ones because there's just no substance there. To be honest, I don't think that's a good fit, If it was back in the day and he met some floozy in a bar and he's getting wasted with his brother joking around, yeah, he might bang a bitch's back out then. But in this world, when things mean, more, and the connections and the interactions you have, it's incredibly different. Yeah, I think he just should be left alone for right now. And I don't see him being gay in the show. If they wrote it in there for Daryl to be gay, especially with Jesus at this point in time, it feels like they'd force it in there because it's a trend now, Young Misfits. Ronnie, which character from earlier seasons do you wish could have made it to Alexandria? Herschel. I think that'd be sweet to see Herschel make it. Monty Big Boar. Do you think the pickles Maggie ate caused her to turn? A drastic change for the worst? Or was it the nick she got by the survivor in the escape from the kill floor with Carol? Brought up many times. Some think not, others maybe. I can see Gregory being kind of a giant dick in a bag of dicks. Yeah, he's a giant dick. I don't think it's the pickles. I just don't think it's the pickles. I think that is too hit or miss. I mean, how would they even know Maggie wanted pickles at that point in time? I don't know. It could be, if they go that direction, they're going to have some explaining to do. I'm not buying it, but hey, the door's open, the possibility's there. I think it was just a chance encounter. Negan knew because they were watching the gates. It's just that simple. And there's only one place they're going to go, to the hilltop. They don't need to know that it's because Maggie was sick. And to be honest, Negan's reaction when he's like, whoa, you look like shit, didn't seem like a guy who knew and planned and yeah, because he could easily be like, yep, you're the one we poisoned. Done, 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 you know? Take a shower, Stinky. Ronnie, is there only one Lucille bat? What happens when it breaks? Yeah, there's only one, and if it breaks, you make a new one. Ronnie Benksy. Benksy. I don't know. Ronnie, feel free to reword this. Yeah, sure, I will. Do you think there's inconsistency between Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead with the walkers? I'm going to throw this in here fast. Yes, there's clear inconsistency because it was the showrunner. We get a lot of new viewers here, so I like to bring this up once in a while. It's nothing odd, strange, weird. They're not doing anything wrong. Yes, the walkers moved a little quicker in the season 1 and 2-ish, and they used rocks and they climbed and shit like that. It was a different showrunner. That is it. Cinema fan man, sorry. Hey Ronnie, do you think that they'll do the Rosita and Eugene storyline in the comic, or do you think they'll change who exactly is with who, and do you think they'll scrap it all together? Listen, I think they're going to scrap it all together. They might have different relationships, sure, but I don't know. In the comic, it felt like it was clearly Eugene was into her, and she was more connected to him, even on a friendship level, than she was with anybody else. It felt that way. Rosita in the TV show doesn't feel like she has that connection, and Eugene doesn't feel, you know, as interested in Rosita in that way as he did in the comics. Yeah, they can change that easily, and he could definitely be as interested. You could say, oh, because he was watching it, because he said this, and because he did that. Sure, but it felt more fleshed out in the comic. You know what I mean? Alberta Andrade, Gatorade, I don't know, man. Do you think Chandler Riggs' age compared to Comic Carl's age will become a problem? Listen, it's already a problem. I say this every like 5 or 6 Q&As. It's already a problem. For some reason I stroked out. It's already a problem. It's been a problem. Go marathon the TV series and you tell me it's not a problem. The dude ages. And here's the thing that's really starting to frustrate me with The Walking Dead that I noticed. If there's not a fucking time skip, what the hell are they doing with people's haircuts? Back in the day, I thought they used to take a picture, you know, all the way around of your hair, your hairstyle, how it looked, and then when you came back for the new season, you got in the barber chair, they trimmed you up based off, you know, the pictures, the reference pictures, and they trimmed it all up so it was consistent. Wow, Dwight is not consistent at all. And I've noticed they do that, where Glenn's hair will be here, and then next season it's like an inch or two longer, and it's supposed to be only a day, or there's not even supposed to be a time skip. Same thing with Carl. His hair will be like it's a little bit long, and all of a sudden it's, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain inconsistencies that, especially when you marathon it, it's like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, how hard is it for real to trim Dwight's hair? Now, I am seriously hoping that there is a time skip, because if there's not, there's no excuse for how long Dwight's hair is. There's just no excuse. So I'm hoping there is some sort of time skip. Listen, we got a lot of questions. I'm going to pick a few more from the old Q&A. So if your Q&A question hasn't been answered yet, I got a whole list. We're going to do a couple videos back to back. So ask new questions down in the comment box. And keep in mind, don't forget this, there is a delay. If you ask a question today, I might not put it on video for 2 or 3 days because of the delay. You get what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. Thoughts, opinions, give me your responses to these questions down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.